Hey, little Miss Fangirl, want to do a backup to one of our songs?
I knew Jin was joking, but I jumped at the chance. When he tried to get me to sit back down, I refused. Just let me try once, please, Oppa! Since he knew I wanted to be a singer, he shrugged and let me have a try. But as soon as I started singing, everyone's jaws dropped to the floor.
Whoa, I didn't know you could sing this amazing.
For a second, everyone was stunned into silence. Even Jin was taken aback. The crowd erupted as we finished the song, and I could feel the adrenaline pumping through my veins. And the noise, nothing like I'd ever experienced before. Oh my gosh, this is it! This is the moment! My heart might actually explode! I'm in a girl band! I made it, Mom! But just as I was experiencing really getting in the groove, a guy suddenly jumped on the stage and stormed toward us, eyes wide and frantic.
I love you, Gia. Sign up with me. I promise I'll make you happier, Queen.
And just like that, chaos erupted all around me. Our bodyguards sprinted to the stage trying to catch the guy who was beelining toward me. The crowd was booing and phones flashed everywhere as I stood frozen. Finally, my guard caught the moron, but as I watched the bodyguards haul away the crazy guy, all I could think was, is this really my life now? Hi besties, I'm Gia, a member of the K-pop girl band Black Pearl. And this is a confession about my life as a part of a popular K-pop girl band. But before I continue, please like and subscribe to Confession Diary. My childhood was interesting. You know those celebrities who were practically born with a silver spoon? The ones whose dads run billion-dollar companies and whose moms spend their days sipping on iced lattes in luxury cafes with their fancy friends? Yeah, we were definitely not that family. Nope. Ever since I could walk, my parents owned the busiest, most chaotic Tteokbokki restaurant in town. Imagine steamy windows, sauce splatters, and the nonstop clang of pans. Of course, that meant that from a very young age, I was helping out. As you see, here are your 2 plates here, and an extra spicy one for you, miss. But serving tteokbokki was hardly my biggest problem. That would be my parents, who were determined that I escape the restaurant life. Which was good, right? Wrong, because in their eyes, the only way out for me was by becoming either a doctor or a lawyer. No exceptions.
One day you'll be a great doctor or lawyer, and the whole nation will know your name. Oh, imagine me telling everyone at the market, hey, that's my daughter.
Yeah, Mom, I'll totally try.
Try? Do you see how hard Uma works here? Medical school or law school? In fact, here you go. I got this for you.
Yeah, you got that right. At 7, my parents wanted me to read law books. In English. Heck, they were so desperate that I become an all-rounder, they had me take swim classes at 6 a.m.
If we go before the pool opens, you can swim for free. Don't forget you're staying up late for math today, and science tomorrow, and English for 3 nights after that.
Long story short, it was insane. I mean, I was a straight-A student, but still. Luckily, I had my older brother Jin to keep me sane. Jin was 6 years older than me and basically the coolest human alive. He was in a band and could care less about what Mom and Dad thought. So he and the parents were constantly butting heads. If they had a medal for that, these guys would for sure win. Since I wasn't allowed to listen to anything other than classical music, I used to creep outside his room to listen to the fun stuff. It annoyed him, of course, but after I tried to climb into his room on the 2nd floor to steal one of his albums, he was horrified.
What are you doing?
If you don't let me have it, I'll tell Mom about this. We both knew that Mom and Dad would flip if they found out he was listening to rock music, so he gave in. After that, getting the good stuff was a piece of cake. So now, every time Mom and Dad were away or asleep, he'd let me into his room and we'd listen to all his music albums together. But one day when I was 11, something terrible happened. Mom and Dad were out, so we decided to listen to the latest album by his favorite band on the loudest volume when suddenly, boom! Mom and Dad burst through his door.
What is going on here?
We're just listening to music. Stop overreacting.
That is no way to talk to your mother, Shin. And if I hear one more bang out of this room, you'll be banging on the street. Got it? And you, it's a school night and you're listening to music? This trashy music? Get to bed right now or you're grounded till you're 19.
I was mortified, but Jin, he was so cool. He just stared at them like, yeah, whatever. But to be honest, having a brother like Jin was the best. You see, he was the only person who knew and supported my secret dream. Can you guess what that was? To be a singer. The truth is that ever since I could remember, I wanted to be in Jin's band. But asking him was out of the question. For one, I knew my parents would ground me till I was 90 for even thinking that. And 2, Who would want their younger sister in their band anyway? Ugh. So instead, I did what I was best at. I sneaked around and followed him, especially when his band had their street performances. They were always packed. But one day, as his band was performing in the park and I was hiding, someone pushed me and I ended up smacking right into the drum set. People laughed and walked away, but I knew my life was so over. And Jin, he was beyond furious.
What the heck are you doing here? Do you know how much trouble you could get me into? Mom and Dad already think I'm a terrible influence on you.
I just want to listen. Please, I won't let them know. I swear on Seoul I won't get caught. Please let me stay. Pretty please.
Fine. But you better not get me into trouble.
I was over the moon. And after that, there was no stopping me. I snuck away from my parents' watchful eye whenever I could and watched the rehearsals. Mom, I'll be studying with Haijin tonight. Mom, a girl in my class offered me her science notes if I tutored her in math. Appa, I forgot my math book at home. I'll go home early tonight. I thought life was perfect. And then one day, everything changed.
Hey, little Miss Fangirl. Want to do a backup to one of our songs?
I knew Jin was joking, but I jumped at the chance. When he tried to get me to sit back down, I refused. Just let me try once, please, Oppa! Since he knew I wanted to be a singer, he shrugged and let me have a try. But as soon as I started singing, everyone's jaws dropped to the floor.
Whoa, I didn't know you could sing this amazing.
For a second, everyone was stunned into silence. Even Jin was taken aback. Then slowly he said the words I never thought I'd ever hear from him, ever.
Gia, do you want to join our band?
What? You're not scared of Uma anymore?
With a voice like that, I'll gladly get banished for you to become famous. And then you can buy me a mansion and a sports car when you get rich.
After that, life was a bliss. For the next few months, I continued sneaking out. Only this time it was to participate in Jin's rehearsals. And Mom and Dad never knew about it since I never let my grades dip. Until they did, and everything went to hell. You see, one glorious Saturday after I'd finished my homework, did all the chores, finished my shift at the restaurant, I snuck out to the garage where the band was rehearsing for my first official gig. Yes, I was gonna get paid to sing for the first time ever. I was buzzing with excitement when suddenly someone yanked me by the back of my hoodie.
What do you think you're doing?
Mom, please stop!
Mom, chill. It's just music. Let her have some fun. Don't talk back to me when you're nothing but a failure, Jin. It's because of you that we now only have one child we can put all our hopes on. And now you want to corrupt her too?
And then Jin snapped. He threw down his drumsticks.
She is not a baby or a robot, Mom. Not everything's about grades and being perfect. She's got talent. And if you actually listened, you would hear it too.
I had never seen Jin mad like that. I stood frozen between them, my heart racing, not sure if I should run for cover or say something. The rest of the band was just kind of awkwardly staring at the floor, pretending this wasn't the worst family meltdown they'd ever seen. But watching Jin stand up for me gave me some sort of courage too. He's right, Mom. I really want to do this.
Are you rebelling too? Wait until your Appa hears about this.
With that, she dragged me away and locked me in my room after giving me a pile of study books taller than me. Typical Korean parents. Ugh, but did your girl study? Heck to the no! I sneaked out of the window, jumped into Jin's beat-up van, and went to the show anyway. And let me tell you, it was the best night ever! Until I walked home to my angry parents, and I spent the entire month peeling onions and garlic at the restaurant as punishment. After that, Mom watched me like a hawk. Dad even went as far as sealing my windows shut. I was under constant surveillance. School, restaurant, repeat. And of course, I was banned from going near Jin and his band. That was the worst time ever. I thought it was all over until one Sunday afternoon when everything changed. I was at the restaurant when I noticed this guy staring at me. At first, I ignored it, but his eyes followed me everywhere. Creepy, right? Hey, Ajushi, is there something wrong with your order, or are you just a creep?
Oh, sorry, I'm Dan from Sky Entertainment in Seoul. You're Gia, right?
What's this about?
Well,
Suddenly, I spotted Mom glaring at us from across the corner. In panic, I shoved the card into my apron. Meet me outside in 5 minutes, and try not to look so creepy. After some very creative excuses, I snuck out and met Mr. Kim at the coffee shop nearby. Turns out someone had sent him a video of me singing, and he thought I'd be a perfect fit for a girl band his agency was creating. This all sounded so exciting, but I knew my parents would never let me try it out, so I talked to Jin about it.
Hey, you've got a killer voice, Gia. You can totally be a star.
But Mom and Dad will never allow it. Should I just sneak out and let them know only if I get selected?
Our Gia's all grown up and brave now. I'll totally help you.
And that, kids, is how I ended up at Sky Entertainment, one of the biggest entertainment agencies in South Korea. Thousands of girls had shown up for auditions, and I could tell we were all nervous. I mean, one girl threw up right before it was her turn. Another one kept making frog noises, trying to prep her vocals or something. And another one was doing cartwheels. What was that about? And then there was me. When they called my name, I froze. My body refused to move. But right on cue, Jin called me, hyping me up. Before I knew it, I was up there singing my heart out in front of the scariest-looking judges ever, and they didn't even smile. I went home that night, not only freaking out about not getting a call back, but also facing my super angry parents. Yep, despite my super careful plan, they had found out I had snuck away, and boy, were they mad.
Running away, Gia? Is this how you repay us for everything?
Mom, it was just a random audition, and I won't be selected anyway, so chill.
Gia!
She called after me, but nope, not tonight. I locked myself in and pretended none of this ever happened. For the next few days, I jumped every time my phone rang. And every time it wasn't the call, I got more and more hopeless. Then one day, my phone rang. Hello, Tteokbokki snack shop. How may I? Yes, this is Gia. Really? I got in! I hugged Mom, who looked like she'd seen a ghost, and forced a high five on Dad. Just then, Jin walked in and I tackled him to the floor. They called back! I'm gonna be a trainee!
Shut up, for real?
We were lost in our own little bubble of excitement when suddenly we heard a scream.
No! How can you be excited about this when you have exams coming up? I won't allow this. Never!
Mom, relax. I can take exams online and my school offers flexible schedules. Plus, the agency also has resources to help us manage and pay for our studies and still train. Oh, please, Mom, let me do this. How I managed to convince my parents to let me go is a whole different story. Hint, I begged, like a lot. Little did I know, that was just the beginning of the madness. The first time I walked into the dorms, it was like stepping into a whole different planet. Seriously, pretty girls everywhere, twirling around, singing like angels, and busting out dance moves that made me question all my life choices. But trust me, nothing prepared me for the crazy rules they had. I had to wake up at 4 a.m. every day. 4 in the morning, guys. And we weren't even allowed to leave the academy without permission. Then came the endless singing and dancing and, oh yeah, language classes. Because apparently being an idol means you need to speak like 5 languages fluently. Whose brilliant idea was that, huh? One day I was running down the hall half asleep trying not to be late for vocal training when I collided with this crazy tall girl. Watch where you're going, shorty. Yeah, should I also speak Thai? We can do this all day, shorty. Oh, I meant, sorry, I didn't know trees were part of the training program. She blinked at me for a second, then cracked up. This girl was Susie, a trainee from Thailand, and after that, we became best friends. By the end of my first year, I was so exhausted that I almost quit. But Mama didn't raise a quitter, so I stayed. In my 3rd year, I finally started getting a hand of things. But one day, I got a text from Jin.
I'm in Seoul for a few days. Let's hang out.
But I was on lockdown for weeks before my next day off, so I decided to sneak out. That night, while everyone showered and had their supper, I left the dorm. I'd be out and back before roll call, or so I thought. But boy, was I wrong. Once we started talking, time just flew by. Oh no, I'll be in so much trouble if I miss roll call. I have to go. Jin handed me some food Mom had packed for me, and I took off running back to the academy, only to see a bunch of girls behind me all trying to get back into the dorm unnoticed. Shoot, we were all gonna get caught at this rate. Hey, come on, take off your shoes. What? Take off your high heels. As I struggled to take off my shoes, I accidentally dropped my dish and I watched in horror as it rolled down the pavement. Leave it. We have 7 minutes to get to the dorm or we're dead. She was right, but I hadn't tasted Mom's meals for months. So I did the only sane thing and dove after the dish. But that was a real dumb decision. By the time I got to the main door, it was locked and the hall director was on the move. No, this can't be happening! I rushed around in panic and jumped into the first open window I saw just as the hall director arrived. Phew, it was Susie's room. That night we had a real blast. After that, the training camp got easier and we started sneaking out a bit more. 5 years later, I was finally chosen as a member of the newly formed girl group Black Pearl, along with Susie and 2 other girls, Aria and Emily. OMG, I can't believe we ended up in a group together, Gia! This is fate! I know, right? I can't wait for all of us to perform together and become famous. This is such a dream come true. Oh, you guys, you're like my sisters now. These girls were all amazing and super talented. And our debut? Wah! epic. My first time on stage was literally a dream I never dared to imagine would one day come true. We'd finally been introduced to the world, and just like that, our K-pop fan base blew up. Most fans were total sweethearts, but some, brutal. But to be honest, being in the spotlight is tough. People made fun of how I spoke English, counted how many lines I got in every song, and even tracked my screen time. As the group's visual, I started feeling pretty lonely, especially after Susie had to take a break to work on her solo projects. Since Emily and Aria had always been super tight, I felt left out a lot. But soon I realized they were really sweet. A few days after Susie left, we were at the airport. I was walking behind them all awkwardly, feeling super alone, when suddenly Emily grabbed my hand. Come on, stop lagging behind, Gia. We can't let you steal the spotlight walking all dramatic behind us like that. That's when I knew that no matter what the world thought, my sisters would always be there for me. Oh, and pretty sure someone made an edit of that airport moment. Whoever you are, I love you. Over the years, I got a few more deals and finally ended up snagging some movie roles. And better yet, I got a female lead role in a TV series acting next to the hottest man in Korea. But don't quote me on that. On top of all my busy schedules, tours, movie and TV roles, and modeling for luxury brands, I now have time to go back home. And my parents, you ask? Well, they don't stop bragging about their famous daughter, Gia.
Oh my god, did you see how she performed during their world tour? She absolutely killed it! Oh, my lovely baby Gia. Mom, y'all better get your autographs now.
My mom is crazy. Everyone laughed as Jin and Dad walked in, and the ladies totally lost it. Oh, didn't I tell you? Jin's rock band was a huge hit now, and the ladies love him. Seeing him living his dream made me proud even more. We've both come such a long way, but what people don't see are the sleepless nights, the setbacks, and the moments we almost gave up. It definitely wasn't easy, but every obstacle we faced made this moment even sweeter. Also, please check out my solo album. I promise you'll love it. And don't forget to comment on how much you loved it.